My best friend and I met in college. From the moment we met, we were inseparable. We shared everything: dreams, fears, secrets. We were like sisters. After college, we moved to the same city and even worked at the same company for a while. Our bond only grew stronger. We celebrated each other's successes and supported each other through tough times. I thought our friendship was unbreakable. A couple of years ago, I started dating someone. He was charming, funny, and everything I had been looking for in a partner. My best friend was thrilled for me. She would often double date with us and her boyfriend. It seemed like we were all destined to be a close-knit group. As my relationship with my boyfriend deepened, I began to notice subtle changes in my best friend. She seemed distant, and there were moments when she would make offhand comments about my boyfriend that felt more critical than caring. She would often say things like, "Are you sure he's the one?" Or, "He seems a bit too laid back for you." At first, I brushed it off, thinking she was just being protective or maybe a bit jealous. One weekend, I decided to visit my parents, and it was the perfect opportunity for a break. My boyfriend and I had been having some minor disagreements, and I thought a few days away might help us reconnect. Before I left, I spent some time with my best friend, and she seemed unusually eager to spend time with me. She suggested that we go out for coffee, and we spent hours talking. She was particularly insistent that I should really evaluate my relationship, pointing out flaws that I hadn't noticed before. When I returned from the visit, everything changed. My boyfriend seemed unusually quiet and distant. I couldn't put my finger on it, but something had changed. It was as if a veil had been lifted, and I started seeing things in a new light. A few days later, my best friend invited me over for coffee. She seemed nervous, which was unlike her. After some small talk, she finally confessed that she and my boyfriend had kissed while I was away. She claimed it was a mistake, a moment of weakness. She apologized profusely, saying it meant nothing, and that it was a lapse in judgment. I was stunned. My heart felt like it had been ripped out of my chest. Here was my best friend, the person I trusted most in the world, telling me she had betrayed me in the worst possible way. I didn't know what to say or how to react. I felt a mix of anger, sadness, and betrayal. I left my best friend's place in a daze and confronted my boyfriend. He admitted to the kiss, but insisted that it was my best friend who initiated it. He said he had pushed her away and that it was a mistake. He begged for my forgiveness and promised it would never happen again. I was torn. On one hand, I loved my boyfriend and wanted to believe him. On the other hand, I couldn't ignore the betrayal by both my boyfriend and my best friend. I decided to take some time to think things through. I needed space from both of them to process what had happened. During this time, I realized how much I relied on my best friend. She had been my confidant, my rock. Without her, I felt lost and alone. I started to question everything about our friendship. Had there been other betrayals I was unaware of? Was our entire friendship a lie? Her comments over the past few months began to echo in my mind, and I wondered if she had been trying to manipulate me all along. After a few weeks, I decided to meet with my best friend one last time. I needed closure. I needed to understand why she did what she did. When we met, she seemed remorseful. She said she was struggling with her own insecurities, and that seeing me so happy with my boyfriend had triggered something in her. She insisted that she never meant to hurt me and that she valued our friendship more than anything. I appreciated her honesty, but the damage was done. The trust was broken, and I knew things would never be the same. I told her that while I forgave her, I couldn't continue our friendship. It was too painful, and I needed to move on for my own well-being. As for my boyfriend, we tried to work things out, but the betrayal had created a rift that we couldn't bridge. Eventually, we decided to part ways. It was a painful decision, but I knew it was the right one for me. I learned that it's important to surround yourself with people who truly value and respect you. Have any of you ever experienced betrayal from someone close to you? How did you cope with the pain and move forward?